In this video, we are going to talk about homeostasis, intrinsic pathway, extrinsic pathway, coagulation profile, and results of coagulation tests like BT, PT, APTT, and platelet count in various bleeding disorders. So let's start with homeostasis.
When there is a damaged endothelium, subendothelial collagen is exposed. Platelets are activated. Collagen binds to receptor on platelets. There is also von Willebrand factor present in the subendothelium which binds to the platelets on another receptor. There is receptor for fibrinogen on platelets. Okay. Damaged endothelium also release small amount of tissue factor which activates thrombin and fibrin thrombin receptor on platelets. This thrombin keeps on activating more prothrombin into thrombin through intrinsic pathway. Thrombin is a key regulator in the homeostasis because it also activates anticoagulant proteins C and S. These clotting pathways activate fibrinogen and helps in the formation of fibrin clot. Now, for reformation and recanalization of vessel, fibrin clot must be destroyed. This process is called fibrinolysis. For fibrinolysis, plasminogen is activated into plasmin. Plasmin degrades fibrin clot into fibrin degradation products, also known as D-dimers. Now we will talk about intrinsic and extrinsic pathways of coagulation in Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Our topic for today is coagulation cascade and the tests for coagulation. Here you can see there is an intrinsic pathway of coagulation and there is an extrinsic pathway which is also called as tissue factor pathway. Tissue factor pathway is activated by tissue factor which is released by endothelial injury. It activates factor 7 which activates the common pathway. Common pathway is from here to here. You can see intrinsic pathway. Intrinsic pathway involves factor 12 which activates factor 11 which activates factor 9 and then factor 8. Both these pathways converge on the common pathway where factor 10 is activated to 10A. This A shows activated form of factor 10 which activates prothrombin and to thrombin with the help of factor 5, calcium and phospholipids. This thrombin activates fibrinogen into fibrin fragments A and B which polymerize to form a fibrin clot. Factor 13 stabilize this clot. Now we will go through the tests for coagulation. To check the activity of intrinsic pathway, we use activated partial thromboplastin time. To check the activity of extrinsic pathway, we can use prothrombin time. Okay, values are 26 to 36 seconds and 9 to 12 seconds for these. We can also check levels of individual clotting factors, for example factor 9 and factor 8. These are assessed in hemophilia A and B respectively. Hemophilia A and B respectively. Moreover, fibrinogen levels can also be checked. Fibrinogen levels are normally 1.5 to 4 grams per liter. Bleeding time is not a test for clotting factors. It is a test for function of platelets. Keep in mind. Okay. Now, if our intrinsic pathway, all of these, any of these clotting factor is defective, our APTT is prolonged, while if factor 7 or any of clotting factor of common pathway is deficient or defective, our prothrombin time will be prolonged. Bleeding time will be prolonged only if there is a low quantity of platelets or there is functional defect in platelets. Fibrinogen levels are deficient only in liver disease, in which its synthesis is decreased, or it is decreased in DIC, in which there is increased consumption of fibrinogen due to microthrombi formation. Moreover, fibrin clot is degraded into fibrin degradation product by fibrinolysis. We can also check these fibrin degradation product in DIC, immune thrombocytopenic purpura. BT, bleeding time checks platelet function. So bleeding time will be prolonged in immune thrombocytopenic purpura. All clotting factors are normal in immune thrombocytic purpura. So prothrombin time and activated partial thromboplastin time will be normal. Platelets are destroyed by the spleen, so platelets level will be decreased. Hemophilia A. Hemophilia A is characterized by deficiency of factor 8. Factor 8 platelet function is normal, so BT is normal. Platelet prothrombin time checks factor 7 and common pathway. Factor 7 is in extrinsic pathway, so it will be normal too. APTT checks intrinsic pathway. Factor 8 is a part of intrinsic pathway, so it will be prolonged. Platelet levels are normal because it is a defect of clotting factors. Hemophilia B involves factor 9, so bleeding time is normal. Platelet is normal. Prothrombin time is normal. Platelets are normal. Only APTT is increased because factor 9 is involved in intrinsic pathway. Von Willebrand disease. It is characterized by qualitative or quantitative defects of von Willebrand factor. Von Willebrand factor has two functions. It helps in platelet adhesion, and it is also a component of factor binding. It is also important for binding of factor 8. So both platelets adhesion is abnormal, so bleeding time is increased. Prothrombin time is increased is normal. APTT is increased due to abnormal function of factor 8. Its levels are also decreased. Platelet levels may be normal, may be decreased. There is no single test that can diagnose von Willebrand disease. There is an additional test for von Willebrand disease. We will discuss it later. DIC. DIC is characterized by consumption of all clotting factors and platelets in microthrombi formation. So bleeding time will be increased, prothrombin time will be increased because all factors are involved, including factor 7. APTT will be increased and platelet level will be decreased. Another test which is important in disseminated intravascular coagulation is fibrin degradation products or D-dimers. It is also increased because there is increase in fibrinolysis of the clots, which leads to formation of fibrin degradation products. Ristocetin cofactor levels will be low in von Willebrand disease. It is another test, additional test for von Willebrand disease. Ristocetin cofactor level will be decreased. There is another class of bleeding disorder known as platelet functional disorders. These are rare disorders. It includes two: platelets function is abnormal, platelets functional disorder. These are Bernard-Solini syndrome, and the other one is Glanzmann thrombasthenia. In Glanzmann thrombasthenia, there is abnormality in the fibrinogen receptor on the platelets. Okay. So platelets number for ITP, these are antiplatelet IgM and IgG antibodies. For hemophilia A, B, and C, factor assays of factor 8, 9, and 11 are available. For von Willebrand disease, ristocertin cofactor levels can be assessed in blood. These are low. For DIC, blood smear shows microangiopathic changes in RBCs. For platelet function disorders, giant platelets in case of Bernard-Solini syndrome are present in the blood. Okay, as you can see this table, platelet count is deficient in ITP. Prothrombin time is affected in factor 7 deficiency, and factors that are involved in common pathway, which are 5-10 prothrombin and fibrinogen, while APTT is prolonged or abnormal in factor 5-10 prothrombin fibrinogen, as well as factor 12, 11, 9, and 8. Fibrinogen levels are deficient in DIC and liver disease. That's all. You can give me feedback on my Facebook page or contact me.